press. We're here at the Stickman Records vinyl pressing plant, one of only a handful here in Canada. What else do you guys do?
We DJ, we have a recording studio, we're a distributor, we're a record label. We do everything.
They do it all.
So it's just, we added from the kick and the clap, or the hi-hat, now there's a snare.
Yeah.
And then once that, you can re-EQ it, or you can add, let's say we add some effects. Maybe add a delay so it sounds like there's two. A bit of a reverb.
We do sample a lot of like drum loops and riffs and licks and whatever you want to call them. We have done quite a few remixes of our own stuff, of other people's music, of our artists' stuff. We just try and use the studio as much as possible. It's a little bit, the time constraints are rough with the being in the office Monday to Friday, and then on the weekends traveling, DJing in countries all over the world. So we try and get in here as much as possible.
To the sampler, we can go to the filters, and there's a lot of people doing this kind of stuff now, where you can change the whole sound.
Right.
Just by adding a filter to it, or bringing up the resonance. A lot of people are getting very famous on this.
Yeah, like who?
You know, Daft Punk, and our main market, yeah, is DJs, and we focus on vinyl more than CDs, and we sell through distributors, through stores, but our final end product ends up in DJs' hands. Yeah.
That is so cool.
It's not the be-all and end-all to have your own pressing plant.
But has that helped your longevity?
Yeah, well, it's like I said, it's a perk where you can fill back orders a little bit quicker than you know, having to call
or get test pressings done or something like that. But yeah, it's nice to have it in the backyard too. It's a lot quicker. But as far as the actual process, we still have to ship internationally. We still have to cross borders. We still have to, you know, do everything as if we pressed anywhere else. So it's a perk, but it's not, you know, it's not the best.
Inventory-wise here, these are mostly singles.
Yeah, all back catalog from the last 4.5 years, from the very first to the very current.
Sea lion woman, dressed in red, wearing a rag on her head. Sea lion woman, dressed in blue. Watch what you say, I'm gonna get you.
We've got the Sea Lion Woman, which is the People Movers, which is quite successful in the last 6 months, locally and internationally. There's the Stickman, which is ourselves, Biotrans. Who else can we add to that?
Well, Freaky Flow now in the drum and bass, and Flipside, they're also producing collectively with PJ as well. So, I mean, it's a small family, but the one thing about us, they're all Canadian. Which is, I think, a milestone for any label. I mean, when we started, we always said we were going to develop Canadian artists and try to put Toronto on the map internationally for house music or techno, and that's still our goal. And I think we've stuck to it pretty good.
What is this?
It's a new label we're doing with Flipside and Freaky Flow called Placebo Recordings. It's our first attempt at the drum and bass genre. We're leaving the productive and creative end in the studio up to those guys. We're taking care of just the business of selling the records and marketing the records and all that stuff. I love drum and bass, but I can't produce it. And
why?
Well, I haven't really tried, but I mean, I'm sure we could. But I mean, it's just when you're working in the studio, it just doesn't hit me like house music does.
We hooked up with the Stickmen, who have been supportive of our ideas, and they've been sort of an inspiration, and we, you know, I guess you could say a good influence, because they've done a lot in Canada and for Canada.
Definitely.
So we had the idea of Placebo, and we managed to get a P&D deal with them, and it's taken off from there.
Like sort of the Ronnie Sizer label.
Yeah, it's nice. It's very nice. It's a good combination between the hip hop and the drum and bass. It's really, like, they're merging really nicely now. A lot of projects like Goldie and KRS-One. You know, it's a good direction for these guys to head, and it shows that the guys in Toronto are you know, they're up to date. Like, they're keeping up with the UK guys and everybody else. So.
It's a label called Cabinet Records, and we just got the tape in from. It's actually recorded in Germany.
Okay.
It's a sub-label that we press and distribute. Along with doing our own music and having our own labels, we also press and distribute other people's products.
They just send us the finished DATs with the artwork, and we manufacture here in Canada and then ship worldwide for them. They have a small studio in Berlin, from East Berlin as well. They have a very, very small underground studio, but they still produce really good music.
How many demo tapes do you get per week?
I don't know, maybe on average six or seven.
Yeah, about a dozen sometimes. It goes in cycles. Like 1 week, we'll get like a lot of them, and then you know, it'll calm down for a while, and then we'll get a few more. And most of them, I hate to say it, but most of them are pretty bad, because it's a kid just first starting out. It's first, you know, he'll record like 3 or 4 things on a cassette, and then sends it to you. Because I mean, when you first get your gear, everybody, like, the first song you ever record, you think it's amazing just because it's the first song you've ever recorded. Like, wow, I've actually made a song. Yeah. I mean, we had cassettes and cassettes of stuff, and we'd torture our friends and go, listen to this, I made this, and they were like, okay, you know, like,
whatever.
Like, put the radio back on. So you learn.